to the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause. We doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar pointing you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on
Mama, there go that man.
Yes.
Man Talk Mondays. We are back once again, ladies and gentlemen. I am Derek, the Thought Engineer, here with my man, comedian John Yogi. How's it going, brother?
Bruh, it is going, man. Bruh, a beautiful day outside, beautiful inside. I am all good, brother. I am all good.
Hey, Miss Abigail, thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to appreciate y'all for hopping on. We got a hot one for you tonight. But let me just remind everybody, this is Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we talk about everything from religion to politics to relationships. But, of course, we're doing it from a man's perspective. Now, keep in mind, this is not just for men. We want everybody to participate and join in. Men, women, boys, and girls, children of all ages, you're welcome to participate in the conversation. Now, how you do this, you go in the comment section, leave your comment, leave your question. We can see this, and this is how you talk to us. But by all means, talk to us. We want to hear from you, right?
Yeah.
We definitely want to hear from you tonight.
Today, yes. Hey,
Yeah.
don't complain about not properly being represented if we give you an opportunity to have to use your voice and you don't use it. And one more thing, when you see me in real life, don't be running up on me. I've had a couple of people running up on me lately with look like some bad intentions. I'm just gonna warn y'all.
You know, you're a celebrity now, man. You can't just walk around in public. You got to get you some bodyguards or something.
I gotta give me something.
Miss y'all crazy peeps, especially John.
Well, I'm gonna be on crazy tonight. I'm telling you that right now.
What's going on, Mr. Justin Caraway? Thank you for joining as well. All right. Let me keep in mind, we have a podcast, right? Make sure you subscribe to our podcast. It's available on Apple, Spotify, Google, Spreaker, Bullhorn, all these different platforms. You can catch our podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you click on any notification bell so you are aware when we come on live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're on TV. You can catch us on BS3 TV on Roku, the BS3 TV channel. Got an awesome lineup of a whole bunch of podcasts, whole bunch of shows from sports to life, to spirituality, just a whole lot of things. So catch the BS3 TV channel and get a whole lot of good information, entertainment, the whole nine. Right? You gonna say something?
Most importantly, your boys, Man Talk Monday, we on a shining.
We on right now. You can catch us live right now on your Roku.
Yes.
What's good, Mr. Wesley? Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Appreciate y'all. I know everybody geared up waiting on this topic, but we gonna warm you up first. We gonna warm you up
before I slap you. There'll be some slapping tonight. Will ain't the other one that gonna slap y'all, and I'm gonna turn around and walk off after slap you.
Well, now we're at the point where we talk about some things that are happening in the world around us. This is time for Man Talk about it. Man, talk about it. Now, people are doing the most with funerals these days. You know, we've seen the elaborate funerals that people do, especially people that look like us. And those of y'all who are listening, we are people of color. And so we tend to do the most, but I think we've taken it too far. So the homegoing services for deceased rapper Gunu, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Gunu, held in a nightclub. Now, they had this young man propped up in a corner. He's deceased, propped up in a corner, and everybody that's in there partying like he a piece of furniture, basically. It was crazy. I saw the video and it threw me. Because I'm like, why? What are we doing now? Why are we having funerals, homegoing services in clubs now? What is the deal? What is going on? But they had the nerve to have a funeral in a nightclub.
Okay, ready. Okay. You know, man, that's one thing about my people. I can always count on us to do something that leave you scratching your head. Let me tell you something. If I walk in the club and I see a corpse up in there leaned up like this, I'm gonna go back and get my money back. Hey man. I don't care who that is up there. I ain't pay for that. I ain't paying for that. Where's my keys at? I'm finna go back out to my car. That's too much, DD. That's too much. You know, we do a lot when we're alive. We do a lot. We do a whole lot when we're alive. But that's just too much to do when you're dead. That's just
way too much.
That's just too much, man. And they had him lean. I think they said they had him leaning like this. That's just too much.
Monique agreed. Monique said, "Oh no, that's extremely too far." It is. Justin says, "LOL. Yeah, that was wild." My question is, did he have to pay to get in?
See that?
He paid with his life, Justin.
Let's see, that came from Justin. That was not me. Because some kind of way y'all gonna mix that up and make that me. That was not me. That was Justin.
Okay, Abigail says some cultures actually do this. Even dig them out after some years and act like they are partying. But I've never seen this in the U.S. culture.
Oh, wow.
U.S. is U.S. is changing. Now, I guess they got the ideas from there. But digging somebody up, that's way too far. Y'all, you tripping. You tripping hard, man.
You tripping, do you just
you tripping. Listen, if I buried you, I don't want to see you no more.
Please. If you rise up, don't come by my house because I don't want to see you no more. I'm good. The last time was good for me. I don't want to see you in the club. I don't want to see you at the grocery store. I don't want to see you in no reunion. Hey, look who dropped by. Don't drop by when I'm there. If you drop by, I'm gonna drop out. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Don't do me. Please don't do me like that. Please don't.
Okay. Abigail says, I'm guessing in PI, there's a whole parade that happens and keep the corpse in the house for 40 days.
You know what? I think I'm not. Okay, first of all, I'm not. I want to know what PI means.
It could be pie. I don't know.
Abigail, enlighten us, please. But seems like I know when I thought they did something like that in New Orleans. Don't they march with the?
No, they have. That's after the funeral when they go into the
mortuary, cemetery.
Yeah, they're going to the mortuary. I mean, the cemetery. Yeah, on the Philippines.
Okay.
Philippines.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have the second line, but they ain't digging nobody up. Rod Collins says this is not new. They took Shawty Low to the strip club. Shawty to the strip club. Oh my goodness, we do too much. We do too much, man. Rod say 3-6 Mafia took the body of Lord Infamous on tour with him. Okay, so maybe we out the loop. Maybe.
Hey, whoa. You can say you out the loop all you want to. I don't want to be in that loop. Keep me out of that loop. If I put up at a concert, you at the concert, I'm gonna be next door, at the bar next door. I'm not going. That's why no, man. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. There's not any more.
Is Jesus.
You know, dude. That
if he ain't Jesus, put him back in there. You don't want to see nobody else.
I mean, is that asking too much to when you leave us on this earth that you gone and do your thing? I mean, because all it is now it's just a shell. It's just a shell now that you're walking around with. That's a lot. See, that make me feel awfully old, man. Because I don't want to see that, brother. As a matter of fact, if I see it, I'm gonna close my eyes to it. I'm gonna be like this. Gone now. Go. I don't want to see it.
Let's say somebody walked out the club, say, man, the DJ killing it in there.
Oh, wait a minute. Some tells me you had that on that.
Boom, boom. Abigail said, cultural thing, LOL. Me personally, I ain't having no dead body in my house. I'm going to pray for you and hope you get to heaven. Like, heck no. I'm already scary as it is. Right.
Put me down for that. Put me down for that. Cause I think when we were younger, I could have sworn, my mom told me I was lying, but I know I remember this. I know I remember us having a body in our house and people were coming over to view it when I was younger. I know I remember this. And she said, boy, you lying. I'm like, I know I remember it because now I am terrified of that because I thought when I was little. I'm just
just to say I want no parts of it. The DJ killing it. Stay out that club. Yeah, you don't want to that club. Well, speaking of things that are dead, Will Smith is now dead to the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences.
Yeah.
So Will Smith has resigned from the Academy. Academy, these are the people who host the Oscars, right? This is the main group and everything that deals with the Oscars. And Will Smith effectively resigned from the Academy. He said that he's willing to accept any consequences that stem from his actions at the Oscars.
Okay, wait. So can you quit something that they're going to fire you from?
Yeah, you quit before you get fired. You know it was coming. So you quit first.
Can you go in there and cuss your boss out and then say, oh, yeah, and I quit? He can be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, no, you ain't quitting. I'm firing you.
And I'm sure once Will, whenever he came to himself, just the whole I'm finna go ghetto for the next 3 minutes. It's gonna be nothing but I'm not only am I gonna slap you, but I'm gonna slap you and then I'm gonna sit in my seat and yell at you and say I'm gonna yell at you. I don't, dude. He went for the trifecta.
Where do you have to be mentally to disregard everything to pull a move like that? And he says, reflecting back on it, he made a whole apology. I apologize to the Academy. I apologize to everybody else who won awards, and all this type of stuff. He apologized, of course, to Chris Rock and everything, but it doesn't undo what happened.
But I believe when he was up on stage, when they called his name and he came to the stage and he was talking about it, this is how big of a deal it is. It's been a week or two, almost 2 weeks, and we still talking about this because I think at the time we saw the fallout from it was going to be huge. This is something that you work your whole life for, man. You work your whole life for this, and all it takes is for you to be that nigga one time. You just got to be at one time, and
Yeah.
they can look and say, "Well, see there, now see, we thought he was different from the rest of them. He just
Right.
like the rest of them.
You're just like the rest.
He's just like the rest of them. You can dress them up, give them a little money, and there they go. They right back. Am I lying to you?
No.
Is
No.
that not the narrative?
It is the narrative. It is absolutely the narrative. And it's already starting to be reported now that it's going to hurt his bank account. I'm pretty sure there are people who had deals set up with Will, and that they're pulling out of those deals now. They don't want to fool with that. They don't want the heat. They don't want the publicity of being kind of dealing with him or nothing. Abigail says, didn't Sony or Netflix did something too, like lost billions?
Well,
I
think Will, man, was probably one of the most marketable people, man, because he was everywhere. He was doing he got his hands in a lot of stuff. And one thing about Hollywood, man, people tend to hang on the next best thing. And when you get in trouble, there's no it's like turning the light on in a room full of roaches. They're gonna scatter.
Right.
That's what I heard anyway. I ain't never seen that.
That's what you heard, huh? Okay. Monique says, your friend. Monique says, were they looking to let him go or suspend? Just wondering. I believe they needed to take some action. They were going to suspend it. They were going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Rod said, always get fired. You can't get unemployed if you quit. You can't get unemployment if you quit. Well, them checks about to slow down for him. And Abigail says, how we know he didn't do Chris a favor?
By slapping him?
Chris did Chris a favor.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah,
did Chris a favor by not reacting.
Well, not on that, but Chris getting ready to go on tour.
Oh, yeah. He had a show.
Mm-hmm.
He had a show like a couple of nights after. He said, trust me, I'm going to talk about it, but it's too soon. I already had this show planned, so it's too soon. So just wait, it's coming. I'm going to talk about it. But right now, it's too soon. That's what he said. And his brother Tony Rock chimed in at his show. Tony Rock say we playing Tupac all year.
Wait a minute.
He said he must know what he did. He said it's 10 of us.
Hey, the funniest thing he said, I'm gonna let everybody know that if you don't enjoy the show, you just walk out. Don't you run up to this stage?
Hey, best believe he got some secret bodyguards sitting right there at the stage.
Oh, man, come on, you know he do.
Who they are. Abigail said his tickets went up tremendously. Absolutely.
I bet. Because everybody want to hear him talk about it. Because he hadn't said anything. And every time he say something, it's going wow.
Okay, Rod said Netflix suspended 2 projects he was connected to. And the show Bel Air, what's going to happen to Bel Air? Justin said weakness. And we see who runs the household. Justin brings up a point. A good point. Alicia said, I heard Netflix paused his future film, but I don't know how true it is. I think this incident will hurt his pockets briefly, but he will bounce back. We hope.
Yeah.
We hope.
Yeah.
Wesley says, God, it's that woman you gave me. So, looking at the whole thing, what we want to know, is she worth the slap? That's what we're talking about tonight. Is she worth the slap? Ivan said he said something. I will keep your wife out my mouth.
Name
your wife's name out my mouth. Oh, you talking about Chris Rock?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how long though. Because he's gonna go in or something.
Because he's gonna talk about it.
Chris Rock gonna go in, yeah.
He gonna find out what Will is first, and then he gonna talk about it.
Now he can tell about his 10 siblings at the show with him. Yeah, and their will to say something. Mm-hmm. But we want to know, is she worth the slap? Is she worth the slap? Okay, Abigail said, excuse my language, but hell no. She's undeserving. Ugh.
I'm kind of. It's funny because I thought most women will be thinking that she was worth the slap. I thought most women would be saying her honor need to be protected. I thought women want to be protected at all costs. The way they can act fools and all that, we still supposed to cover them even when they act fools. That was my understanding. That was one of the reasons why we wanted to adamantly talk about it, because we wanted to shed a little man light on women that automatically think they deserve to be protected. And let me remove deserve out of that.
Wesley said, hell no, especially after that entanglement. And see, this is what we talking about, right? So should black men defend women at all costs?
Let's do one better, D. Let's do women. Because I want everybody to get some of this. I got enough for everybody. Now let's cover the nations tonight, D. Let's cover the. I want all of them.
Everybody. I wanted to keep it to the community. We cover everybody though. Should men defend women at all costs?
Are you asking me?
So let me tell you about an incident that happened to me one time. So me and my wife, and this is before we got married, we were dating. We had to drive from Plano to halfway to Arkansas, to this little town called Hooks, like on the way to Arkansas, to pick up somebody. As we're driving now, we're in the middle of nowhere. For any of y'all that know anything about Texas, like that New Boston and Sulphur Springs area, we're in that area. Ain't nothing out there. Nothing is out there. But we drive up and there's a police officer, state trooper, and he's just kind of drifting. And I had just said, put your cruise on, because I just had a bad feeling. So he slows down. We come up behind him. He pulls behind us, turns his lights on. He turns his lights on, pulls us over. We now, being that we were already on cruise at the speed limit, I'm knowing something is off on with this. So I'm thinking he won't trouble anyway. Well, my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, she was on one that night. So she feels the injustice and feels the need to speak out on the injustice of him pulling us over unfairly.
Right then.
Not after we leave. So she is giving the cop attitude. Nothing but attitude. He tell her to, now he asking all kinds of questions. And then, of course, he gonna come and drill me to see if I answer the same way. And she was like, call my daddy. I'm like, I am not touching nothing in here. No sudden movements. And it was just, and gets mad at me because I won't get on 10 like her. I'm like, it is midnight. We in the middle of nowhere. There are no witnesses out here. And this man has a license to kill.
Me.
Right. Me.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm going to catch it.
Yeah.
And she gets mad at me for not defending her. Was it wise?
I think if you ask her now, I think she know better now. I think I would hope she would know better now. Because, when you young, you got that.
My wife, I call my own daddy. Yeah,
I'm just curious. What was he gonna do? Do?
Right. He about 200 miles away. I'm gonna call my daddy. At least it's talking about going, Dr. Selena, because there's some days where we got time. Yeah, you might have time, but your time shouldn't mean the end of mine. You know what I'm saying?
So this is a question I want to ask. Speaking of, since we got time, when women do too much, is there a button or something that let them know I might be doing too much, or do they just ignore that or they tear it off? Because I know most women pick and choose, and they'll go in. And I asked my wife this. She looked at me like she didn't know what I was talking about. So is there a button or something that says, you know what, I'm doing too much, I might need to chill a minute? I'm curious. I'm curious.
I've been saying, has she bought you that care already? Well, we weren't married, so she wasn't on she wasn't no beneficiary or nothing like that, so she wasn't gonna get that. But it's like you said, is there something, women, y'all need to answer this. Is there something in y'all that let y'all know when y'all going too far? Because the game is not the same for men as it is for women. Alicia says it was in the heat of the moment. Well, you need to learn how to cool down.
Is that an excuse? Is that an excuse or something? Because it's the heat of the moment for us as well. They not run. Hey, the law enforcement not running around here shooting black women. They shooting black men.
Right.
How can you be more heated than I am? Right. I'm curious.
Rod says we only know what they allow us to know about their marriage. But Rod, to your point, but don't we know too much?
See there.
We know too much.
Yes, we do.
Hold up. And let me ask this question. We talk about Will and Jada just for a second. Talk about Will and Jada. Everybody believes that Will has definitely, because they have an open marriage, that Will has messed with other women. Can you name them? So Rod says, so why is Jada undeserving? Let's run it. Let's run it.
Okay, Jada is undeserving, first of all, because she is raising her hind leg up and peeing on him in front of everybody, number one. Number one. Now, because what this does, this causes the rest of the world that's watching to see you as a weak person, to see you as no kind of man, and all of that. Then to see you as a punk. I'm really trying to figure out why would she be prove to me how she deserving. Go ahead. You want to read your name? Go ahead.
Janae said her reaction to the corny joke didn't really add up to his response. If anything, he finally snapped. Absolutely. It was not just about that moment.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
That was a build-up.
Yeah.
Justin agrees. He says, yes, that was a build-up. And married men understood what happened.
What? Rod
says the entanglement had nothing to do with this. It had everything to do with
Rod,
this.
something wrong with you. Rod, something wrong with you. You better quit playing. Something wrong with you. It had listen. It's normally it's not that particular thing. It's in the moment. It's not that thing that snaps it. It's generally a build up of some smaller things. The entanglement. How about this? Did it help it or it hurt it? I bet you it didn't help it.
Right. Justin say it has everything to do with it. Everything that you know about the marriage is from her talking about Will. She red tabled her own indiscretion. Yeah. And it wasn't like she had the red table as if to say, I blew it, I messed up. It was kind of like matter of fact. It's like, yeah, Will looked like he had messed up. He had the red eyes.
Yeah, but it's hard to sit down with a foot in your ass. He looked like he was real uncomfortable in that seat because that red pump was, I know it couldn't sit down. Listen, let me say, this is what I've been thinking for a long time. And I could be wrong, but this is just my opinion. That boy, Will, has been compromising since he's been with Jada. Jada has said in her openly, hey, listen, I'm ride or die, but I'm not wifey. What? So for me to wife you, I got to compromise what comes with that. And so if I'm compromising what comes with that, disrespect comes with that. Disrespect comes with that because I've compromised something. I've compromised to be with you. I have to keep doing that. I got to keep putting up with your baloney because I'm compromising. I now have to be on the red table talk, letting the world know that some other dude been running up in my gal. Well, how you gonna put out it ain't enough for him to cheat on me, but you gotta tell everybody how good it was? I'm killing everybody. Everybody gotta die. Matter of fact, everybody that's seen the red table talk gotta die. So if you watched it, you gotta die too, because I gotta kill everybody.
Okay, Rod said cast those stones, Saints. Right.
You take Rob back to the church and leave him in the lock him in there, lock the door behind him.
It's not about whether he did or not. We talking about publicly. Listen, we don't know what Will has done. I haven't heard what was his red table where he talked about his indiscretion on her. But she brought this whole thing to the red table. That should have never. Number one, she was doing too much, hanging out with this cat. All these pictures and stuff they had together. You sitting up there out there with, you got a whole boyfriend in public. Okay, Lisa said it's just funny that men who don't have control of their household have so much to say about this topic. But that's another topic. Control of the household. Oh, so now you want us to control y'all. Is that what you're saying?
You know why they need to be controlled? Because they can't control their mouth. If they could control their mouth, we wouldn't have to control the household. We wouldn't have to. Listen, let me tell you something. Go ahead, Monique. Go ahead. Say Monique's before I go in. Say Monique's.
Monique says, is he seen as a punk because he stayed in a marriage after knowing she was with another man? If she really wanted to stay, she made public after the indiscretion. Oh, I didn't really want to be married no way. Why wasn't you saying that when you first jumped in? After he did Independence Day and his career was on the rise. In your career, you was being typecast in these hood roles. So why you weren't saying it then? Why all of a sudden now it's convenient to say, well, I didn't really want to be married. I said I wasn't wifey material. You talking this now. Why now?
But see, because the problem with this whole thing is, listen, if y'all keep y'all stuff in y'all house, don't nobody never know none that's going on. But y'all wanted to make sure that everybody knew about all that y'all was doing. And then you have the audacity to get on there and act like you're a marriage counselor and can help people with their lives. If you don't take a couple of seats and sit down somewhere. A couple of seats and sit down.
Abigail said, exactly, John. Selfish. I can't stand her.
And wait, why I'm on my go ahead. why I'm on my soapbox? How you gonna now listen? You want to talk to me about men protecting their women? When y'all gonna start protecting us? Cause let me tell you something. Well, no way in Hades that woman was supposed to let that man go on that stage and slap that boy. You was supposed to do what you supposed to be at his foot, trying to drag him down. He should have had to drag you up there to slap him. Because you know he got too much to risk. And you know that. But you don't care about that because all you thinking about is you. Relationships are about partnerships, y'all. Damn, you don't supposed to let me make no fool out of myself for you. You don't supposed to let me do that. You supposed to say, baby, calm down. Calm down. I know you pissed. Ooh, I know you pissed. But listen, this ain't the way to do it. Who gonna have some sense? So both of y'all gonna be fools and that's cool. And you want me to protect you? Well, shit, protect me. When you gonna get me? Can I get protected? Everybody always tell me it's time they protect black women. Bye. We've been protecting you, even when we shouldn't have been. Can we get some love?
Monique said, I believe John has a point. However, in his book, he stated the opposite. He stated he has compromise for him. Will is protecting her. He was protecting her in that statement, in that book. Abigail says, but they have an open relationship though. So of course, they doing stuff, but they have been keeping it private because that's their business. But Jada did the food and wanted to go public. The disrespect. Absolutely.
Well, it wasn't that she wanted to go public. It was that it went public. You taking pictures, you doing photo shoots with him, with the family. You at a concert with him. You booed up with him. Have you lost your mind? You booed up with him.
Booed up in public. Brenda says, yes, she was supposed to have his back and protect him. Hold up. It wasn't even about protecting him. Will carries that whole house.
Yes, he sure does.
Jada ain't carrying that house.
So, well, would you say
he
that
got
one more
way
time?
more riding than Jada does. Reggie says, 100%, John. Protection goes both ways. Well, let me say this about protection, though. Let me say this about protection. Anita says, I agree with John. Let me say this about protection, though. If you have somebody who comes to you for money and they keep asking you for money and you keep giving them money, at some point, don't you have the right to question them about how they spending their money? Because they keep coming to you, right? If men just automatically defend women on every point, we're giving license to bad behavior. We are endorsing bad. We saying y'all can act the monkey and act the fool all you want to.
There you go.
We got your back,
There
and
you
that you don't consider what the situations you put us in the meantime. Men are calculating all the time when we're in a setting. We sizing up all the dudes around us just in case something pop off. And you can make something pop off when he's already assessed that I need to chill. And when a man gets upset with a woman, he's looking for another man to take it out on because he's not gonna put his hands on her.
You better say that one more time. You better say that one more time. Because I remember somebody's wife talking to me real bad, and he was standing there, and all I could think about is beating the brakes off of him. That's all I could think about. Boy, if I touched you up right now, they wouldn't even recognize you when I got through with you. Because you allow your wife is disrespecting me. Let me tell y'all something. This is what I told my wife and my daughter. I said, listen, never put yourself in a place where a man can disrespect you, call you out of your name, or do any other sorts. I say don't flirt, don't talk crazy to him, don't do none of that. Because if and when they call you out of your name or do something disrespectful, I'm going to deal with them. And I want to know when I'm dealing with them, you hadn't did anything to put yourself in a situation to where you can be disrespected. And lo and behold, I've never had that issue. I have never had the issue. Because if you flirting with a guy and he come and say something to you, and he say, hey, well, she was flirting with me, because he gonna say something sideways to me. Now I got to kill up the whole party. Now I got to just get me a slingshot and shoot everybody in the party with my slingshot. Because y'all do too much.
Justin said, never said I was a saint. But being on the level he is on, he should never react like that. Her being his wife, she could have tried to stop him from making that mistake. Absolutely. He said, Justin said she has always been jealous of him. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And I had considered the jealousy. I had never considered that.
Well, go ahead. They roll it in.
Okay. Rod say, okay, maybe my background makes me more understandable and sympathetic to people like Jada and Will, but they are not undeserving of grace because they live an open lifestyle. Okay, I get the whole grace thing, but I'm talking about in the relationship between the both of them. When you in a marriage, y'all got to cover each other. You got to watch and not compromise your partner. You got to watch and not compromise your wife. You can't compromise your husband. Both of y'all got to be on the level to where you're not doing anything to compromise them. Mika says protection is a two-way street. She should have helped him in that moment, but we expect too much of her. She hasn't protected a man in years. She sure wasn't going to do it that night.
And
Monique said on protection. Yeah. Monique says on protection, yes, we need to protect one another. Black, most of the time, feel that we are at the bottom of the totem pole. We look to our men to cover us. Now, we're not saying don't protect women. That's not what we're saying.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
We're saying if you're looking for men to protect you, black women or women period, if you're looking for men to protect you, don't do something that puts him in a position.
So D is saying this, and he trying to be nice. What he really trying to say is, if y'all can act like y'all got some damn sense, that really would help us out a bunch. Listen, don't send me up there. Don't give me the nod to go up there and ruin our lives. Don't do that to me. Come on, listen. You know I'm the weak one in the relationship because I have allowed you to do all that you're doing. Can you not, at this point, keep it in the house? Can you not make me look like that I know what the hell I'm doing because I got some sense, and don't send me up to that stage because she's sinning so much so that like the slap wasn't enough. Now you got to come down, stir and sit in your seat and just do the fool. You don't reach over to him and say, baby, okay. You not going to slap him in the next week. He's still trying to gain his composure. He don't even know where he at. And You can't reach over there and say, you can't kick it. My wife would have dived on me and say, fool, have you lost your mind? You about to mess up the church money. Do you know how long we have worked to get here? You about to throw this away. If you don't act like you got some sense, John Lewis, I'm telling you what mine would have did.
Ivan agrees with you. He said right on, John. Okay, so Monique says, to Derek's point, men try to choose a sister that has your best interest in mind, not a drama queen or a damsel in distress. Most of the time, that's who's being chosen. Right. Now, so to Monique's point, we pick the wrong one sometimes too. We do. We pick the wrong ones.
We pick hips and hips and ships and that's we don't. I'm just and then we find out later that you're a fool. We find out later that you won't be quiet. We find out later that nobody can tell you no. We find all this stuff out later, and then we wrestling. We're trying to figure out if we're gonna stay with you. And oh Lord, I hope she ain't pregnant, cause she gonna be a fool. Oh Lord, I hope she ain't pregnant, cause I can't tell her nothing. She won't listen to me. I can't do nothing to make her be quiet. See, if you can't be quiet, you need to be this. And I always get in trouble by saying this. If you can't be quiet, then you may not be deserving of being protected. Shit, you got it. Run on out there. You got it. You got it. I'm finna sit there at the house and drink milk cold and run on out there.
Monique said, thank you, John. Tell the truth. Alicia is cracking up. She said that. Mika said that's right. So, listen. Why would good women spend all of this time being the women they are, and here comes other women that just mess it up for? Men the same way. We don't listen. When a dude is messing up, we looking at him like, man, what are you doing? Especially if you a husband. Listen, in a circle of friends, good men, we holding you up, man. We like, dude, don't do nothing. Chill out, man. Be easy. I understand it's bad, man, but hold on. We doing all this, trying to support it because we understand the fallout. Alicia says, come on, John. I know too many of those women.
But see, D, that's the problem though, because you shouldn't. You shouldn't know a whole lot of women that won't be quiet. With this BS boss women, y'all better take a couple of seats somewhere and sit down somewhere. And talking about it's time black men protect their women. If y'all don't get out of here with that, it's time you shut the hell up and sit down somewhere. That's what it's time for. If your man can't tell you nothing, if your man can't make you be quiet in the house, you gonna act a fool when you get outside. Listen to me now. If he can't tell you nothing in the house, you acting a fool when you get outside. And guess what? You might not be protected.
Okay, so Rod said, what level? Because he made a few movies, he's still a man just like us. Let's not put him on a pedestal or her or their marriage. We didn't put them out there. They put themselves out there. When you go public, everybody wants the fame, but fame has a good side and a bad side. You got to take the good with the bad. You can't cry about the bad and then want all the good. You got to take it all together. That's why you got to be smart, because a bigger spotlight is on you. It doesn't mean that you're perfect. It just means that everybody see your life now. If you don't want nobody to see your life, go sit down somewhere. Get you a regular job where they don't know who you are.
And it could have always been dinner table talk rather than red table talk. We could have talked about what y'all was doing at dinner, what y'all was eating. That ain't what you want to talk about. You want to put your business out there and show the world that you was a boss chick. Okay, boss chick. Okay. Go ahead, D.
Okay. So Justin said, Rod Collins, you have to acknowledge that he is in the public eye and he is looked at as the best of us. That's where my disappointment comes from. He knows that he isn't just representing himself, but his family and all of us.
You're right.
I agree.
You're right. Too much
is given. Exactly.
Too much is given. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mika said, I'm hollering. John is on one tonight, but it's the whole truth. Rod said, Will does not represent me. you or any other man. Rod, he's taking it. All right, you say he doesn't represent you, but there's a certain thing called stereotypes. And the whole purpose of stereotypes is I take one type and I broadcast and I put it on everybody that I group with that person. And so now some woman clutches her purse, not because of you, Rod. She clutches her purse because 5 years ago, somebody that looked like you did something to her. Right. Now, it would be fair if every time she saw that exact person, she clutched her purse, but that's not how she's doing, because protection says I must protect myself from any possible people who may be grouped with them.
And Rob may not want to admit it, but he going through the same thing himself, because we all do. We all have to figure. We all trying to get out from under stereotypes, and we all are different. We all are a representation of something, whether we want to admit to it or whether we want to see it or not. We all are. It ain't just, it's not. Now, Will is a bigger because he's in front of us, and we can't turn off the TV without seeing him. But we all are.
All right, Justin say we can agree to disagree, my brother. And I get it. But listen, how about the stereotype that men don't do nothing but cheat? Yes. We married men and we have to fight against that stereotype all the time. Even to the point that women will go and cheat expecting you to cheat.
It's talking about I knew you was my spirit said you was gonna do it anyway. Right. Well, I'm finna whoop you and your spirit.
Tell me it don't happen. That's a stereotype that's put on all men. Yes. All men are dogs. Men ain't no good. So the good men have to live up under this, and we gotta fight this all the time. And let me say this about protection, because there's one thing women have to understand: how men protect. Men don't only protect in the moment, we protect you by instruction. Yes, men give instruction. Yes. That is our protection. But if you are not used to receiving instruction from a man, now you looking at it, oh, you just trying to control me. Nobody trying to control you. We trying to keep you safe. Yes, exactly. But because you don't respect my words, because you rolling your neck and everything, now you run out there. Now you put me in a position where I got to act out or do something where I could get hurt or killed or something, because they not going to treat me the same way they treat you. They're going to give me the business, as opposed to they might do a little bit to you, but they're going to give me the business.
I'm curious because one of our, I think Alicia said she know too many women that's fly at the mouth. Who going to start saying something to them? Which one of her friends gonna call her out and say, girl, you need to hush. Girl, you doing too much. Girl, you need to sit down somewhere. But they don't do that. They don't do that. They go home to their husband and say, girl, she was on one today. Then we go home, we go to somebody else. We don't approach them with it. We need to be approaching. The women say, baby, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're gonna lose a good man, or more importantly, you're gonna get out there and they're not gonna have the protection that you think you got.
Brenda said the men that cheat are cheating with women. So women cheat as much. I'll do you one more, Brenda. Y'all cheat way more than we do.
Well,
listen, because y'all have way more opportunity than we do. And then too, when you look at it, the women that have kids, the amount of dudes that have kids, they having 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 kids. Why? Because they all the women sleeping with the same dude. They sleeping with the same guy. All right. Rod said, John, I'm 6'5", 300 plus pounds with dark skin. I am the stereotype where you should feel where we're coming from. How overly nice do you have to be because you 6'5", 300 pounds and you're a black man?
You better say that.
How much do you have to go out of your way to prove that you are not this big mean monster?
You better say that. Say that.
Just to say, there's a big difference between a matriarchal society and a patriarchal society. Absolutely. Absolutely. But everybody thinks that patriarchal societies don't work. That's what the people are starting to say now. Let me tell you this, because this is what we get in church all the time. Men ain't supposed to love their wife like Christ loved the church and sacrifice for it. Guess what? Jesus' wife ain't giving him no back talk. Jesus' wife doing exactly what he tell him to do when he say do it.
Boy, my eyes left for a minute when I heard that.
Oh, you can't pull a sacrifice card if you're not gonna listen to. Jesus ain't covering the person they listen to. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, do what I tell you to do. So that means Jesus ain't covering the woman that's acting a fool. So why should we cover the woman that's acting a fool like me? Why should we?
What, D, you wait.
I'm just saying.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You give a license to foolish behavior when you just cover people for everything. The same way, if somebody keep coming back to you for money, if you never put any standards on them to say, this is the last time you coming to me for money, next time you come, we're going to sit down and we're going to do a budget and see how you spending your money. But if you just keep giving them money, they ain't going to never learn.
Yeah, but also, there is a certain thing as a covering or an umbrella. When you do what's asked of you when it comes in a relationship, whether it be married or dating or what have you, there is a certain covering that men provide for women. And a lot of times you weigh out from under that covering doing you, and then when something go down or somebody you say something to somebody in the car, you do some fools that you weren't supposed to do, now you want to come back and be up under the covering, and the gate be locked. See, it's a gate around the covering. It's a gate around the covering, and then when you run back, we see you coming and we lock the gate. And this is the thing. Some men will do it anyway. Some men will cover you anyway, to the detriment of what it could cost you and her. But now if you're a woman, if you're the right kind of woman, you should be trying to keep your man away from this type of stuff. So when I'm out, I gotta act like I got some sense. I can't be flying off at the mouth. More importantly, I can't talk to people like I talk to him at home. I can't take that outside. Even though I know I don't supposed to be talking to him like that, but most important, I can't let that hit the door. And because nobody should know what goes on in your house. Nobody should have no idea about how crazy my wife talked to me when we're in the house. Sometimes I just laugh and say, girl, the people on the news. And she say, woo, they sure don't. Because they ain't supposed to. They're not supposed to know how crazy y'all talk to us. It's supposed to stop at the front door. But y'all fools want to get outside and work your neck and your back and your side, and then talking about, yeah, they need to be protecting black women. If y'all don't hush up somewhere and take 2 or 3 seats.
Justin said, tell him, fam. Listen, I tell people, let me get Justin. Justin said it's a big difference between a matriarchal society and a patriarchal society.
We did that. Yeah.
I say I just don't give them the power to decide who I am. It's not your power to give. That's that in that person. Perception is reality. How they perceive you is their reality. Regardless of who you really are, how they perceive you. Now you got to work against that perception. Ra says, and yes, I've smacked people for disrespecting my wife, daughter, sister-in-law, and random girls in the club. So let me ask you this, Rod. You've smacked people, but does your wife go around getting into stuff requiring you to smack people? Does your daughter go around getting into situations that require you to step in? It's a difference in situations finding them and them going looking for trouble. It's a whole big difference, and that's what we're saying. Don't go looking for trouble and then expect us to cover you. Alicia says, I've definitely had my fair share of checking several, but some women don't listen, hence the topic.
Well, Alicia told us some women don't listen, like we don't know.
Alicia said, I always say, we can't save them all. All right, Monique says, that's another great point. Women have to be aware of instruction. Remember when most dads were in the home, that training took place. We are in an era where, unfortunately, our fathers are not in the home. Not an easy fix, but true. Absolutely. Because there are a lot of women that don't even know how to deal with a man. Abigail says some women don't even if you are trying to protect them as friends. You end up getting the girl you hating. Some internal issues for some human beings. Ego for sure. I tell people, there's a term in football called a pocket, right? And as long as you stay in the pocket, quarterbacks know this. When the whole line steps back, they form a pocket. And as long as the quarterback stay in the pocket, they're supposed to be safe. Right? If the quarterback gets hit in the pocket, they can point the finger at the guys that's supposed to be protecting him. But if he runs out of that pocket, he is open game. And he get hurt outside that pocket, it's on him. It's not on the guys that's protecting him.
Indeed.
Stay in the pocket. Don't get out of pocket.
And they can hit him a different way outside the pocket that they can in the pocket.
Exactly. Yeah, so there are rules to protect him in the pocket.
Yes, exactly.
You run outside their pocket, you open game.
Well, just like it's rules for them, D, but most women want it both ways. Everybody want to be boss women and be able to run things and do what they do, talk to you crazy and do this and that. And then when it comes time, man, this is one we got to get away from. Protecting women don't have to always be violent. It don't have to always be when we putting our hands on somebody. It's a way to let people know who you are and what you do, who this yours and mine over here. Because most of the time, now every so often you gotta slap somebody, but most of the time people respect when hey man, hey, now this is what we're not doing. This is what we're not doing. Because most of the time, conversation rule nations with everything else, but it don't rule it when it comes to you guys. Or is that not enough for y'all? Y'all want somebody's hands to be put up. Y'all want them hands to be thrown. Somebody make me understand, because we should be keeping each other out of that kind of stuff.
Okay, Rod said it's not going out of the way to act nice. I'm just a nice person, but you are aware of who you are and how you are in your acting nice.
Is this slapping? Rod? This slapping Rod? It's the same person. I'm mixed. I don't know what's going on. He's slapping him a few minutes. He was slapping him a few minutes ago. Now he a nice person. I'm getting mixed up. I don't understand.
Rod say so. Back to the original point. What did Jada do to deserve the hate? Everyone hating Jada is a toxic, masculine mindset. Oh my goodness. So now we're gonna get into this whole new age thinking of toxic masculinity. There's no such thing.
They made that up.
No such thing. You got some males that get out of hand. Justin says, fam, you have no power in this. In this suicide. Rod says, but linemen take every hit, every play, pocket or not. Right. We are the linemen, Rod. Yes. They're the quarterback. Yes. We're trying to protect them. But if they run outside of our protection, they open game. Monique says, no, most women want you to handle things without violence. Listen,
I think it's age limit on that, D. It's age limit.
I was just going to say that. When you're in your 20s and stuff like that, you might get down like that. Once you get into your 30s and you got a family, you got a stable job, you got more to lose, you ain't so quick to do all of that now because you think.
There you go.
Like you working at McDonald's. Oh yeah, you'll fight. You'll fight somebody then. But when you in your career and the whole house is set because you know what I'm saying, you holding it down, you can't run off and fly off the handle.
And you can't act like you at McDonald's when you at the academy. You can't act like you at McDonald's because you far from McDonald's. When you at the academy, you supposed to act and carry yourself a certain way. You there because you have acted and carried yourself a certain way. Because if they had any thought that you would act different, you would have never been there. Y'all know what I mean. Quit playing with me.
Final thoughts, man. Final thoughts.
All right. So, my final thought for this evening is, listen, guys. We always talk about communication. Listen. Some of y'all need to learn how to act. Some of y'all need to stop. Why? First of all, why are we so upset with each other? Why when we talk, we got to be arguing and fighting, and you got to get the best or the last word? Man, everybody needs to calm down and take a chill before it costs you something. Now, it's funny. Early in your life, it won't cost you much. But the older we get in life, that attitude, that temper, that talking, that working your neck is going to cost more than you something. It's going to cost you and that person something. And we got to be smarter than that, people. We got to be smarter than that. And I know you are. You just got to make a decision to be smarter than that. And that's my final thought.
Yeah. Lions in the lion tribe, the lioness do most of the hunting. The women lions, they do most of the hunting. Men, we don't have problems with women hunting. Go be that Supreme Court judge. Go be that CEO. Go be that boss. But understand, when those lionesses are hunting, the male lions are sitting back, making sure nothing comes to harm them. They're being the protection while they're getting the work done. And that's what men are trying to do. We're saying go forth and prosper, do what you got to do. But if we gonna protect you, stay within our protection. Don't go inviting situations that cause us to be put in situations where it costs us our lives. Because that's where we are as a society. We got to move smart as a people. And we can go and we can conquer. But let's be wise in how we approach situations. Let's be wise in how we deal with each other and the world outside. I guarantee you we'll get more done that way. We'll be more successful together. It's an African proverb. You want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, take people with you. But you got to respect the people that's going with you so that you can go far. And that's our King Speak for this week.
Woo, brother. It went quick, brother.
Yeah, man. That did go pretty fast.
I looked over, it was 7:40. Next time it was 7:58. I'm like, oh, man. I didn't even really tell them about themselves like I wanted to.
Brenda said, great show. Listen, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all talking to us. We appreciate the comments every week, especially our people that rock with us every week. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for just participating in the show week after week. We definitely hope we helping somebody. That's the hope.
And we know we're not going to agree with everybody, but it's still, we still want to have a healthy dialogue about it. Okay, so we know, we understand, and we hope you guys get something from the show like we do, like we hope.
Absolutely. And we want to say we got a member of our BS3 family, Mr. Brian Snow. We want you to keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's undergoing a procedure to try to get him healthy. And so we're praying for his health, praying that all goes well and his strength is restored. So he's a member of the BS3 network family. And so we definitely want to show support to him and always supporting the BS3 family. So just wanted to say that. Where can they find you, man, before we go?
Oh, man, I'm on Facebook at Comedian John Yogi. I'm on TikTok. No, I'm on TikTok. I'm finna be on TikTok. And I'm on all social media platforms at John Yogi. Check me out at John Yogi. And you can see me here every Monday at 7 o'clock with my man on Man Talk Monday.
Absolutely. And you can catch me, Overcomers Empowerment Ministries. We broadcast on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Time on BS3 TV on Roku, as well as Facebook and YouTube. And then you can also always go back and catch on demand. So anytime you need a wood, just go to BS3 and get you a wood. There's wood in the house for you. So, always in the house for you. On Roku.
Hey, I want to say this. If we didn't get to your comment, we apologize. There were a lot coming in. And we do want everybody to know that we appreciate everybody, man. Because what I know, without you guys, it won't be no us. And hopefully we'll get to you next time. All right.
We appreciate y'all. We're going to catch y'all next week. Peace out.
That'll be good.